Hi everyone, it's Kainoa coming to you once again as the Teddy Bear Thinker. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the hot topic issue that's on everyone's mind right now, and that's COVID-19. And especially with today, once again, our so-called political leaders in Washington are playing their partisan games when our economy is in crisis, when our health is in crisis because of COVID-19. And enough is enough. We can't not continue to afford the foolish games that our so-called leaders continue to play in Washington. So again, I'm Kainoa coming to you as the Teddy Bear Thinker. What the Teddy Bear Thinker is, I'm coming to you as an individual that's trying to develop a reasonable voice in the Republican Party, reasonable voice that's influenced by our 26th president, Theodore Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt, nicknamed Teddy Roosevelt. That's how we came up with the teddy bear. But again, I'm influenced by his leadership from when he was president in the early 1900s, as he was a progressive leader, and that's what we need right now. We need to embrace the progressivism back then, what he implemented, in order to address the issue we have at hand right now. So here we go. I honestly think this coronavirus, the pandemic being caused right now, is the war of this decade. Now that may be extreme, but honestly, everybody talks about needing to implement warlike policies and practices during war times. So here we go. President Trump said it. I think others have said it, especially with President Trump invoking the Defense Production Act and everything else that's going on by our governors across the nation and just all around our so-called leaders in government. So here we go. I think this is our war on CO2 and not carbon dioxide, like I know many of our so-called leaders in Washington would hope and their followers would hope, but it's a war on, it's an attack, by the way, on our health and our wealth, or in more professional and political terms, it's an attack on our healthcare system and our economic system. And when I say CO2, this is what I'm talking about. Coronavirus, oppression, communism, and oligarchies. That's what we are against in this new decade, because we see the policies and practices being implemented that may be too extreme. Okay, we'll get into that in other videos, but I'm not going to go into that right now because I wanted to quickly wrap up and share this idea that I had and not make it a long video. So here we go. Our war on terror, the very first war of the 21st century, since 2001 all the way into current day, has costed us $6 trillion and 500,000 lives across the globe. Now, what Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs are saying in regards to coronavirus, what it's going to do is it's going to create a loss in GDP, 30% of GDP. And well, our economists and politicians and all that may not say that it's actually 30% of 23 trillion, but it may be. 30% of 23 trillion is a $6.9 trillion loss. So you're saying that coronavirus can cost the economy, because of the shutdown and all that, could cost us almost $7 trillion. And we can't let that happen. But also, we can't allow ourselves to risk American lives and any more lives across the globe. So my idea is that Congress seriously needs to consider a $7 trillion stimulus package. A $7 trillion stimulus package, as this is the amount of money we'll spend to address the war on CO2. Coronavirus, oppression, communism, and oligarchies right now, but also throughout this entire decade. And with that $7 trillion, unfortunately, will be added to our national debt. Our national debt from $23 trillion will go up to $30 trillion. And quite honestly, I don't think anybody cares about that anymore. Since 2012, we talked about our national debt. It was at $12 trillion during that time, and now it's at $23 trillion right now. So right now, desperate times call for desperate measures. Let's not talk about the debt, because all these years we haven't been. And our so-called leaders have just continuously been adding to the national debt for no good reason. And right now, we need that money to stimulate our healthcare system and to stimulate our economic system, because of what our government has done in regards to not preparing us for this pandemic. I'm not blaming the president. I'm not blaming one party. I'm blaming the entire federal government for their lack of leadership. And so what this $7 trillion stimulus package does is provides us the next 2 phases to deal with this pandemic. Stimulus phase 3 is for SALSA, as I say. What that is securing American Liberty Loans and Social Security Act, and the stimulus phase 4, which is a Hail Mary, a whole bunch of policy packages that I will share in another video. And again, I will go into more details of SALSA in another video. But then again, this is Kai Noah coming to you as the Teddy Bear Thinker, presenting the idea that we are at war. This is our war on CO2, and we need a $7 trillion stimulus spending package in order to address this war. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Again, this is Kai Noah coming to you as the Teddy Bear Thinker. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye.